Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Today's Focus podcast series. It is Thursday, April the 27th, 2023, and it is currently 11:09 a.m. Central Time. Today's focus: Christian nationalism. Today's focus is Christian nationalism. Now, I'm going to be pointing you to another resource, another podcast, another YouTube channel for you to go check out and watch and listen. But before we do anything, we've got to talk a little bit about Christian nationalism, all right? We have to talk about it. And on this point, like there's a lot of times I may make a point and I'm more than willing to maybe change my mind. But on this one, I don't think I would ever change my mind. I am dogmatic. This is a hill I'm willing to die on, okay? This is where I draw the line in the sand. I believe Christian nationalism is evil, ungodly, heretical, unbiblical. It's a cancer and it will destroy biblical Christianity. It will destroy the gospel if we do not stand against it. There should be no toleration for any element of Christian nationalism. If Christian nationalism is slipping into your church, even in the smallest ways, I would tell you to run as fast as you can. I know many would disagree with me, but no. If Christian nationalism is coming into your church, some would say, well, should I stay and fight it? I just say, get out. Just run from it. Just protect yourself spiritually, because then you'll spend half your life going to church trying to fight what the church is trying to do. And church should be a place where you can come and worship and learn, not a place you have to be engaging in theological battle. The church is where you're coming to be equipped, not coming to fight a theological battle. So I would say, get out. But I can't stand Christian nationalism. This idea that somehow America is a Christian nation and we must maintain it as a Christian nation, and the laws and everything in this land, the policies of this land should be governed by Christianity. Basically, Christians should be making policy and determining how the country should live. It turns the gospel into a political force. It turns the gospel into a national identity instead of the good news of Jesus Christ coming to die for our sins. It points to the solution to all of our societal ills is somehow Christian politicians, Christian political policy, Christian laws. That's the solution. No, the solution isn't that. The solution is the gospel, calling people to faith in Jesus Christ. It changes everything. It changes the gospel. It changes everything. Christian nationalism is a cancer. It is a poison. It is evil. You cannot tolerate it. There is no compromising with it. There is no trying to say, well, you do your thing, I do my thing. No, you have to stand against it. Christian nationalism is pure, heretical trash. And I look, and this, typically I try to be nice, and I'm not attacking people. I'm attacking the concept. I'm attacking the theory. I'm attacking the teaching. I'm not attacking people. So please, I don't want anyone to misunderstand me in any way, shape, or form. I'm not attacking people. I'm not saying anyone's names. I'm calling Christian nationalism a cancer that must be eradicated from Christianity. And just sometimes you'll be in your church and you just listen to people start talking. They may never identify themselves as a Christian nationalist. They may not even be able to define what Christian nationalism is, but you can hear it in their voice. You can hear it in their philosophy. You can hear it in their perspective. And they don't even realize it, because it's almost like, look, you can almost follow kind of a timeline. Christianity started becoming more and more political, politicized. And then politicians realized that Christians are the ticket to getting elected in many cases. Donald Trump, how did he make it to the White House? Because of Christians, right? So then once the church becomes politicized and then politicians realize we can use the church to get power and position, then all of a sudden you start merging political ideology with Christianity, and you get this weird version of Christian nationalism, this broken, messed up, it's not truly Christian, I can tell you that, but this Christian nationalism, only Christian in name. And because people have become so politicized, then they just swallow the pill. They just drink it. It's the politicizing of the church that made them vulnerable for the Christian nationalistic ideas. And there are some of those out there straight promoting Christian nationalism. And Christians don't say, they're like, it's Christian. It's talking about Jesus and it's quoting scripture. And don't we want the world? Don't we want to fight against all of this ungodliness in our culture? Don't we want to stand against it? Yeah, because you want to impose Christianity upon non-Christians. It was weird because there was a time Christians could not, like they were all up in arms about Islam and Sharia law and trying to place Islam upon people. And we're like, absolutely not. We live in a free country. We believe in the freedom of religion. And then the next thing Christians were like, I got an idea. Let's basically create Christian Sharia law and let's ban, boycott, censor, attack, and try to impose Christian law on unbelieving people. And it's like, what is happening here? Christianity is the message of Jesus Christ coming to die for sinners. It's calling people to faith. It's calling people to believe in him. And then after they believe, we teach them to obey. The believing first, the teaching to obey second. This is a problem. And I've been talking about this and warning about this for a very, very, very long time. And I've been talking about the politicizing of the church. And I've given everyone the very thing to go listen to for themselves so they can hear it in action. I don't think one person has ever taken me up on my offer. Download the American Family Radio app. The American Family Radio app. Listen to their programming from about 10 a.m. to around 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Just do it for about a month. But at the end of that month, you'll be like, I don't know, did I listen to Christian radio or was I listening to conservative talk radio? Was that political or was that spiritual? Because it's this weird mixture of basically Republican talking points, conservative talking points, a political ideology mixed with Christianity. And at times it's bizarre and weird and crazy. And they buy into many cases of the conspiracy theories being sold. They promote the stuff. And then whenever something is proven not to be true, they never come back to apologize. I mean, they were playing clips of Tucker Carlson all the time. If that gives you anything, Fox News is their go-to source. They were the ones saying Sidney Powell and Rudy Giuliani had all of this evidence to show that Trump was actually elected. They denied, they were all in that the election was stolen. And I could just go on and on and on with all the things. And I've played clips and clips and clips from them. And that's a large Christian radio network that has stations across the country. Now, they may deny that they're Christian nationalists. That's the thing. It's almost like if you say Christian nationalism, many who hold to I think Christian nationalism, they'll say, no. We're not Christian nationalists. We're just Christians. We're just Bible-believing Christians. Yes, but you're holding to a politicized version of Christianity. And I know there are all kinds of different definitions of Christian nationalism put forth by scholars and experts. I know that I'm not giving you an academic definition, but you can see it and hear it. So what I will say, Christian nationalism may be an umbrella term, but there is this mixture of the politicizing of the church with a Christian nationalistic approach. I throw in a little, scripture, and you get this weird, maybe Christian nationalism is not always the best term if you're looking at it from an academic standpoint, but it's Christian nationalism in some way, shape, or form, or it's just the over-politicizing of the church and Christianity. So we're now identified more for our political ideology than we are for our theological beliefs. And when the church becomes more identified by, say, Trump or Republicans, and we're no longer identified as followers of Christ, we're no longer identified by our theological beliefs or our confessions of faith or our creeds, but we are known for political ideology and our culture war stand, then the church has lost its identity. We're no longer the bride of Christ. We're the prostitute for the Republican Party. That is an issue. I mean, we've sold ourselves for their political advancement. So I have an issue with it. Now, why am I talking about it? Well, what time was it? Let me look here. What time was it? I got to go check my email here really quick. Check my email. What time was it? On April the 26th at 7:44 p.m., April the 26th, 7:44 p.m., I get an email, and here's the entire sentence. I guess this is getting on more people's radar. And I'm like, okay, what's getting on more people's radar? And they have a link, and I'm like, okay. Well, this person has emailed me before, so I'm like, okay, I think I can trust the link. Right? Because sometimes someone will email me a link, and I'm like, I don't know who this person is, and I don't know what this link is, okay? But I'm typically brave. Sometimes that's been bad to click on certain links, but I won't go into all of the emails I get, all right? But here we go. I guess this is getting on more people's radar, and I click the link, and what do I get taken to? I get taken to Fighting for the Faith. Oh, Fighting for the Faith on YouTube. Chris Rosebrough. I love Fighting for the Faith. Now, I don't keep up with it all the time, and here's the reason why. I love Fighting for the Faith. One, obviously, me and Chris Rosebrough would have a difference in opinion. He's a Lutheran who believes in baptizing babies. I used to be a Lutheran. I'm no longer a Lutheran. So, obviously, I moved away from Lutheranism because of baptizing of babies. So, we would disagree strongly there. But Chris Rosebrough has made a career of pointing out all the messed up things going on in the evangelical world. And he does a very good job showing all the crazy heresies and false teaching that has invaded the evangelical church. Sometimes I wish he would put that same focus looking at all the things going on in Lutheranism, because there's just as many issues going on in Lutheranism. But I digress. He does a really good job of doing that. Now, for me, I have to take it in small doses. And here's the reason why. Because if I just sit there and listen to Chris Rosebrough day after day after day telling me how bad the church is, sometimes you just want to throw up your hands and say, I give up. And then I spend my life just like complaining and talking about everything. So what I've tried to do is, for like, say, my podcast, is balance it out. I will critique, I will analyze, but I also want to do things like the Bible study exercise, getting us actually studying the text for ourselves and not just criticizing. But he does a really, really good job. All right, a really good job. But this one was interesting because when I clicked on the link, it's Fighting for the Faith. All right, F4F. That's, I think, maybe how that it's abbreviated on YouTube. But Fighting for the Faith with Chris Rosebrough. You should be able to find it. If you can't find it on YouTube, let me know. I will send you a link to his YouTube page. Fighting for the Faith. So I'm like, okay, Fighting for the Faith. Oh, and as soon as I saw it was Fighting for the Faith, my first thought is, who's he going after today? Is it Bethel, Hillsong, Elevation Church? Like, what's going on in the world of Christianity? What's happening? And then I looked at the title. Debunking White Christian Nationalism Part 1. And I'm like, wait, what? Chris Rosebrough is going after Christian nationalism. You've got my attention. So I'm going to play just the beginning of this, let you kind of see what he's trying to do. And remember, today's focus, some of you still don't really understand. Today's focus is really telling you, hey, let's go focus on this today. Go think about this today. And then it's not to be the full looking into a particular subject. It's really just to start and spark a conversation. In many cases, what I throw out on today's focus episode, we circle back around in more detail in another podcast episode later on. Not part of the Today's Focus podcast series. The Today's Focus podcast series is really like, hey, today, I don't know what you're doing. Here's something to focus on spiritually. Here's something to look into, to research, to study, to talk about. It's trying to give you something spiritual to think and focus on so that you'll talk about something spiritual today. That's what it attempts to do. I think some people think, well, wait a minute. why didn't you dig into this and you didn't dig into to this? Or they start critiquing it like it wasn't a full-blown expose because it's the Today's Focus episode. I'm just telling you to start thinking about it. And then I'm allowing you to engage in conversation with me by emailing me, newsif@yahoo.com. And then I may circle back around to your email and then you see how it's supposed to work. Okay, so I want you to today, for your Today's Focus, I want you to go to YouTube and I want you to type in Fighting for the Faith and look for the episode Debunking White Christian Nationalism. And I want you to give it your full attention. I would love to get your thoughts, your agreements and disagreements with it, your opinion. I would love to get your thoughts on Christian nationalism in general. So I know there's some of you who listen to this are like, how dare you criticize Christian nationalism? We're going to make this country a Christian nation no matter what we have to do, no matter what. And look, by all means, if you want to abandon the gospel for your Christian political agenda, go do it. I just wish what you would do is just leave Christianity and just go try to form your own theocracy or whatever you're trying to do. Just leave Christianity out of it. All right? Because some of us just want to, I don't know, preach the gospel, baptize and make disciples. I don't know kind of what the church is. Well, okay, I digress. But okay. All right. So are you ready? You ready to want to hear a little bit of this? How did Chris Rosebrough begin his debunking of white Christian nationalism? What did he do? How did he do it? Like, how did he start it? How did he introduce it? Well, I'm interested to find out. Are you interested to find out? I've only played like a 30 seconds of this. And then you know what? I'll just introduce this on the Today's Focus episode. And then I've got to go listen to all of it. Some may say, are you going to do a full review of it? I don't know if I'm going to do a full review, but I know this. I know it's there and I want everyone to support it and listen to it and at least get his perspective on it. All right. So here we go. This is how Chris Rosebrough for Fighting for the Faith. This is how he started his debunking of white Christian nationalism. And I must see, he posted this 16 hours ago.
Welcome to, this isn't really an installment of Fighting for the Faith, and let me explain why. This is a video pointing you to a video, and it has to be this way. And the reason being is that we are going to be covering the Bible twisting and false doctrines and teachings of an ideology known as white Christian nationalism. And as a result of that, we cannot post the video here on YouTube because the YouTube algorithm doesn't make a distinction between those who are criticizing a hateful ideology and those who are promoting it. So by
that is such a that is such a problem with YouTube. Like you can be debunking a false idea. You like say YouTube says, "Hey, you cannot promote that the election was stolen and the election fraud occurred and that's why Trump did not get into the White House, that the election was stolen from him." You can be trying to debunk that idea and then they will then ban your video and delete it saying you're promoting, that the election was stolen. No, I'm trying to debunk the idea. I'm trying to debunk it. It doesn't matter. It's so weird the way it works. And you'll when they remove your video and you'll try to in the appeal process go, no. I'm not promoting the wrong idea. I'm trying to debunk the wrong idea. And they're like, we're sorry, you still violated our community rules. Boom. And if you do it one more time, you're banned for life. And you're like, you know what? Stay away from that. So I can understand his struggle with YouTube algorithms. So let's see what else he has to say.
By merely playing the sound bites that are necessary to do the teaching so that you now know how to defend yourself and your family and your church against white Christian nationalists, especially the Maulerites, if we played those sound bites here at YouTube, we would risk losing our entire channel as a result of that. So we can't do that. So we're going to be good stewards of the gift that God has given us in our YouTube channel. And we are going to say, this episode of Fighting for the Faith is up and you can view it by following the link below. It'll say, this is the link to here, watch the full video. And this is going to be the first installment of multiple installments on this topic, because it's too big of an issue to deal with one episode. It can't be done. In fact, I'm kind of thinking through, having just recorded the first installment of this, we're probably looking at 4, 5, 6 episodes dealing with white Christian nationalism. That may be where we're going to end up going with this, because it's that big of an issue. But the first installment, it does not disappoint. We really go hard after the Bible twisting that's involved in white Christian nationalism, especially the Mahlerite version of it, so that you can start to be able to think biblically and critically against this ideology that is posing as Christian piety, but is anything but. So again, go to the link down below and watch the first installment of our debunking of the claims of white Christian nationalists. Again, you'll find this helpful. So until next time, may God richly bless you. Grace and mercy won by Jesus Christ in his vicarious death on the cross. Amen.
Okay, so here's what you need to do. He gave you the instructions. You go to YouTube, you look up Fighting for the Faith. Now what you'll do, what he's referencing is underneath in the description, it will say watch full video here, and it takes you to Rumble. It takes you to Rumble. So if you have Rumble, you can go Fighting for the Faith. If you don't have Rumble, just go to YouTube, follow his link, and I'll open up the website for Rumble, and you can find it there. And I don't know. I don't know if there's a way. You know what I may do? Here's what we may do. Okay, hang on. They have an embed code. All right, hang on. They may have an embed code. Where is it? Let's see here. What I may do, live here on the air. I'm going to see if this is going to work. Just stay with me for a second. All right, hang on. I'm going to try this live on the air. We'll see if this works, okay? This may not work. Just stay with me here. Because I just realized, okay, wait a minute. That's a lot for people to try to find, but they allow for this, so we're not doing anything illegal. We're protecting everyone's copyright. We're not taking away from anyone. If I can pull this off. I didn't even think about this until right then when I just realized, wait a minute, I think I can do this. Here's a new post, right? Here's the embed code. There's the source code. Let me paste it. I don't know if that worked. Okay, hang on. Let me go title. Let me see if I can do this. Oh, save. Hit save. All right. I'm going to see if this works. Stay with me. All right. I got to go author, and I got to go publishing date, which would be April the 27th. Let's hit save. Okay, hang on. Hopefully this works. This may work, ladies and gentlemen. This may work. Okay, hang on. Okay, here's the blog. Tell me it works. Ah, no. What happened? Okay, hang on. That did not work. Okay, why did that not work? Hang on, let me see. Is there another part of the embed code that I need? Hang on. We're doing this live on the air. Let's see if this works. Maybe it's not going to work. We'll see. We will see. Now let me do a refresh. No. All right. Well, that's frustrating. Let me try this. I'm going to do another edit here. I'm going to do another edit because the embed code is not working. I do not know why the embed code for Rumble is trash. Okay, so we're going to delete that. Let's do this. Let's see if we can just get can we get a copy? Here we go. Copy. Now, let's go to, let's put a link. Let's do this. Hang on. Debunking. Let's type this out. Debunking. We're going to do this live. Hang on. Debunking. I think I need that to be a capital. All right, here we go. Debunking white Christian nationalism, part 1. And then I'm going to put here, watch here. I'm going to put video. Then I'm going to go hyperlink, put the URL, save. And ladies and gentlemen, I think I just did it. Hang on. Now let's go to view more. There we go. If you'll go to theologycentral.net. I did that live on the air. If you go to theologycentral.net, I was trying to embed it. For some weird reason, the embed code for Rumble is trash. It's not working very well. They've got the weirdest embed code I've ever seen, but I will work on it. But for now, if you go to theologycentral.net, theologycentral.net, go to the blog section. Guess what you will see? You'll see the link that will take you directly to Debunking White Christian Nationalism from Fighting for the Faith with Chris Roseborough. This is part 1. He said they may do 5 to 6 parts. Please, today, for your today's focus, go watch what he has to say. That's what he wanted to do. So on their YouTube channel, they can only give the intro. That's all they can do. That's just crazy the way that works. But Rumble, you can do. That's just so weird. Like, on one hand, YouTube is this site where, millions of people are, but then you can't post certain information. So then you got to use YouTube to point people to a different location. That's just ridiculous. That really is ridiculous. But, yes, I wish he would place this on other sites as well. But there you have it. Rumble's the way to go. Debunking white Christian nationalism. But for now, just go to theologycentral.net. Go to our blog section, and there is a link that will take you directly to the video, and you don't have to go through all of those hoops. I wanted to get you directly to it. I wish I would have thought about that before we went live on the air, but all of a sudden live on the air, I'm like, wait a minute. I can just embed it. And then the whole embed code doesn't work, but I'm going to go mess with the embed code. I'm going to get it to work. Trust me, I'm going to get the embed code to work. And, if it is, then when you'll go to the theologycentral.net pod page and go to the blog section, you'll see the actual video. So I'm going to get the embed code to work. I'll do that as soon as this broadcast ends. But I just the more people talking about Christian nationalism, the more people debunking it, condemning it, exposing it, so that you can be protected. More importantly, you can be more alert for it. And so when you see it or hear it in your church, in any way, shape, or form, you know that something bad is happening and you've got to do something about it. All right. That is your today's focus for this Thursday, April the 27th, 2023. Please go listen to it, watch it, and I would love to get your thoughts and feedback on it. email me, newsif@yahoo.com, newsif@yahoo.com. Everyone have a great day. And, well, hey, we've got to deal with Christian nationalism, and I hope you understand how serious it is.